Making headlines. The president confirms that the majority of land for Asmale will be reclaimed by the end of this year. The president announces that the development of the new terminal at VIA along with other airport enhancements is projected to be completed by 2025. And the president announces that $844 million has been paid to various parties without resorting to currency printing since he took office 7 months ago. Welcome to the English News. I'm your host Malak Ahmad Fayaz. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu confirms that the majority of land for Asmale Kaf Atoll will be reclaimed by the end of this year. During the inauguration ceremony of the People's National Congress PNC House, President Muizzu emphasized the significance of the Asmale project, which he has prioritized following the land reclamation project at Fushidikar. Initially launched on December 18, 2023, the Asmale project aims to address the national housing crisis. Although temporarily halted due to global coral bleaching concerns, President Muizzu announced that the project will resume in July with the goal of completing the dredging of 1,110 hectares by December. In his speech, President Muizzu also highlighted other ongoing land reclamation projects including Hulumale Phase 3, Gulifalo and Girawarfalo. He reiterated the government's commitment to launching additional land reclamation projects nationwide, ensuring that no individual will face housing challenges by the end of his tenure. The Asmale project is designed to accommodate 65,000 housing units involved in the reclamation of 1,153 hectares in Fushidikar. The plan includes the allocation of 11,000 land plots and 26,000 flats. Moreover, Asmale is set to become the first zero-carbon city in the Indian Ocean. The government views this project as a transformative endeavor both technologically and environmentally. President Muizzu expressed confidence that the Asmale project will significantly advance the nation's housing and environmental sustainability goals. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu announces that the development of the new terminal at Velana International Airport VIA, along with other airport enhancements, is projected to be completed by 2025. The development of the new passenger terminal is a significant component of the project to modernize the airport to contemporary standards. Since the current administration took office, efforts have been focused on expediting the completion of the airport's development. Speaking at the ceremony held to inaugurate PNC House, the ruling party's office, President Muizzu highlighted that the expedited development of VIA will include facilities for aero boarding, which passengers can start using by the end of this year. The Maldives Airport Company Limited MACL stated that the aero bridges will enable passengers to board aircraft directly, ensuring more convenient travel services. Despite the initial goal to complete the new terminal by the end of this year, President Muizzu stated that the realistic timeline for the project completion is now set for 2025. He emphasized that the development of VIA remains the government's primary focus, anticipating significant economic growth upon its completion. The current passenger terminal has a capacity to accommodate 1.5 million passengers annually. The new 78,000-acre passenger terminal aims to accommodate 7.5 million passengers. It will be equipped with state-of-the-art facilities including advanced aero boarding and a modern baggage handling system. This transformative endeavor will address space constraints and ensure the provision of various services. Additionally, the new terminal will feature a variety of food and beverage outlets, retail spaces, and lounges, enhancing the overall passenger experience. The government has also announced the commencement of the second phase of the project. President Muizzu assured that the works for the first phase of this phase will be completed in a timely manner, further contributing to the airport's overall development. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu announces that a total of $844 million has been paid to various parties without resorting to currency printing since he took office 7 months ago. This statement was made during the inauguration ceremony of the main ruling party People's National Congress PNC's headquarters, PNC House. During his speech, President Muizzu emphasized the economic progress achieved in the initial months of his administration. He highlighted significant efforts to implement the declared economic strategy, noting that positive outcomes are already evident. He proudly stated that his administration's decision to halt money printing has been praised by international monetary agencies. Criticizing the previous administration for printing more money to cover state expenses, he argued that it was not the best course of action. President Moise also mentioned that his administration has stopped taking loans with heavy repayment requirements. Instead, they have managed to pay public and private companies and make loan repayments from generated revenue without incurring new debt or printing more money. The government has repaid $259.8 million of the $584 million owed to private companies, $454.6 million to public companies, and spent $175 million on loan repayments. Additionally, when President Moise took office, the Sovereign Development Fund, SDF, had $2 million. Over the past 7 months, his administration has deposited $54 million into the fund. Reiterating his administration's commitment to achieving the development goals desired by the public, President Moise leveraged the party's supermajority in the parliament. He addressed opposition attempts to undermine the administration's economic achievements, urging the ruling party to actively share the details of their work with the public through the PNC House. President Moise concluded by affirming that his administration will work tirelessly to fulfill the economic agenda promised during the presidential campaign, maintaining a steadfast approach without any changes. Minister of Foreign Affairs Musa Zamir departs on an official visit to the United States beginning on June 24th and concluding on June 27th. Zamir's visit aims to strengthen the Maldives-US partnership and reaffirm commitment to multilateralism through meetings with senior US government and United Nations officials, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The visit will commence in Washington, D.C., where Minister Zamir is scheduled to meet with key figures including the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, and the Administrator of the U.S. Agency for International Development, Samantha Power. These discussions will focus on enhancing bilateral cooperation between the Maldives and the United States, U.S. In addition to these high-level meetings, Minister Zamir will participate in an interactive discussion at the prestigious Council of Foreign Relations. He will also engage with the Maldivian community in Washington, D.C., fostering stronger ties with expatriates. Following his engagements in Washington, D.C., Minister Zamir will travel to New York City. Here he will meet with the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres and the Undersecretary General for Economic and Social Affairs Lee Junhua. These discussions aim to bolster the Maldives' collaboration with the UN on various global and regional issues. Minister Zamir's itinerary in New York also includes a meeting with local tour operators and travel advisors to promote tourism in the Maldives. Additionally, he will connect with Maldivian communities residing in New York and New Jersey to discuss their concerns and strengthen community relations. Accompanying Minister Zamir on his official visit are Secretary for Bilateral Affairs Dr. Hala Hamid and Senior Undersecretary Hassan Hussein Shihab. Speaker of the Parliament and Chairperson of the People's National Congress PNC, Abdul Rahim Abdullah, has attributed the current government's political successes to the strong leadership of President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu. Remarks during the opening ceremony of the PNC House, the party's main centre. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Abdul Rahim contrasted President Dr. Muizzu's leadership with that of previous Maldivian presidents, suggesting that earlier political actions had caused the party and government to suffer. He emphasized that President Dr. Muizzu's approach, which involves regularly consulting with party leadership on major political issues, is a key factor in the government's success. He also said that the main ruling party PNC and the Progressive Party of Maldives PPM are operating under strong leadership, making it politically difficult to challenge the government. Additionally, Abdul Rahim urged politicians to respect public decisions and refrain from mocking the government. He also noted that the public desires development rather than political allegiance to the specific individual. Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shyam reveals that a top government priority is to disburse the outstanding payments to fishermen, with efforts resuming this week. He made the remarks at the opening ceremony of the PNC House, the main party centre. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Minister Shyam criticized previous administrations for damaging the fishing sector. He highlighted that the previous government had increased the fish purchase price to $1.10 per kg and paid fishermen with non-existent printed currency. Despite raising the fish price to $1.62 per kg during the presidential election, he also said that the previous administration still failed to pay the fishermen. Additionally, Minister Shyam noted that MIFCO had incurred a $14 million loss in the first quarter of this year due to unprofitable fish purchases. He emphasized that President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu prioritizes settling the outstanding payments to fishermen despite the challenging economic situation. So far, he said that the state has provided a $18 million subsidy to MIFCO for fish purchases and a total of $61 million to fishermen, including fuel and ice subsidies. Parliamentarians expresses confidence that the Health Services Bill offers potential solutions to the challenges faced by the nation's health system. This sentiment was shared during a debate on the proposed amendment to the Health Services Bill introduced by parliamentarian Hussein Imran Latif. The bill received support from both pro-government and opposition members. In his proposal, parliamentarian Imran emphasized the critical importance of the bill for enhancing the development of the healthcare sector. He highlighted that it is the government's responsibility to ensure the health of the growing population. Imran stated that the bill would help identify diseases spreading within the nation and provide significant solutions. Other members of parliament echoed the importance of the bill for the health sector, with opposition members describing it as a pivotal measure to address various obstacles within the sector. However, some opposition members noted that the bill requires further improvements. Parliament members have requested an expedited approval of the bill following amendments made at the committee level. Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company Limited MIFCO states that efforts are underway to resume the operations of Addu City's fishery complex. The operations were halted due to ongoing protests by fishermen. The protests, which began on June 21st at the complex's harbour, have prompted the Maldives Police Service MPS to deploy officers to observe the situation. MIFCO revealed in a new statement that the company's property were damaged and the rights of its employees were also violated during the ongoing protests. Noting that the protesters are interfering with the basic needs of the employees, the company stated that it is working with the relevant authorities to resolve the issue. Furthermore, MIFCO stated that although protests in accordance to the law were acceptable, the damages done to the company's infrastructure and property were intolerable. The company also stated that protests were conducted in restricted areas including the cold storage and the powerhouse. As such, protesters have damaged the canteen and have caused power cuts in the accommodation units of the employees, preventing them to attend basic needs. The demands of the protesters include the pending payments MIFCO owed to the fishermen. While MIFCO has completed the delayed payments of 2023, totaling to $15 million, the company has repaid the fishing boats $49.7 million to this date. The company additionally revealed that the remaining sum totaled to $3 million equivalent to payments for 1 year and 14 months. MIFCO highlighted that the company was dependent on the government for financial assistance due to the loss of $0.5 per kg of fish sold. Manchester Airport, the third busiest in Britain, cancelled over 100 flights affecting thousands of passengers Sunday following a major power cut. A Manchester Airport spokesperson said at least 20% of all outgoing and incoming flights were cancelled, adding that it expected further disruption. Early aviation analytics firm Cirium said 66 departures and 50 inbound flights had been cancelled, with EasyJet experiencing the largest number of cancellations. Manchester Airports Group, which also operates London Stansted and the East Midlands Airport, said the airport had been affected by a major power cut in the area earlier this morning, and passengers at 2 of the 3 terminals were told to stay away. The managing director of the airport, Chris Woodruff, said that the power cut led to problems with airport security and baggage systems. Flights resumed in the afternoon. Woodruff said on social media he expected flights to be back to normal operations from June 24th onwards. The airline Jet2 said that as well as cancelling dozens of flights, it was unable to load bags onto planes as the baggage system remained inoperable. EasyJet warned of very long queues for security and said passengers could only board flights with cabin bags. Some arriving flights were diverted to other airports, including London Heathrow and Birmingham. Some flyers described the chaos, with one passenger saying that they had been waiting for their bags after landing after midnight, and another saying that they were stuck on the plane. The UK travel industry has been hit by a series of technical and strike disruptions in recent years that have affected rail and air passengers. Last month, a nationwide outage of immigration e-gates caused long delays for thousands of passengers. In August last year, Britain faced its worst air traffic control disruption in years due to a technical fault. The report released by Save the Children indicates that the ongoing war in Gaza has left an estimated 21,000 children missing, with many feared trapped under rubble, detained or lost from their families. Alexandra Saye, head of humanitarian policy and advocacy, told Reuters on Friday, June 21st, that approximately 17,000 children in Gaza were estimated to be unaccompanied and separated, with a further 4,000 likely missing under the rubble. Save the Children's child protection teams have reported the need for urgent action to protect separated and unaccompanied children, a task complicated by the escalating security situation. Saye said an unknown number of children have been detained by Israeli forces, forcibly transferred out of Gaza, or buried in unmarked graves. She highlighted that several mass graves have been found, and an unknown number of the bodies that were found in the mass graves have been children. She added that the difficulty in verifying the identities of the children killed, particularly those found in mass graves, due to their bodies being damaged beyond recognition. Saye stated that many children have had their families completely wiped out, have lost all next of kin, noting that this adds to the challenges of identifying victims. The report said at least 33 Israeli children have been killed since October, with an unconfirmed number of children among those held captive in Gaza. Around 250 Palestinian children from the West Bank were reported missing in the Israeli military detention system as of June 9th, with their families being unable to confirm their whereabouts and well-being due to further visitation restrictions imposed since October. Saye emphasized the traumatic impact of the war on children, recounting cases of children so traumatized that they were unable to eat even when food is present. She warned that the effects of the war on Gaza's children will span generations, affecting them both physically and psychologically. Minister of Sports Abdullah Rafiu emphasizes the necessity of establishing a sports fund to enhance sports development in the Maldives. In an exclusive interview with PSMNEWS, Minister Rafiu underscored the increasing importance of the sports fund, emphasizing its role in expanding athletic training programs and supporting the existing Arata program. He highlighted that the scholarships for athlete training will also be administered through the fund. Furthermore, Minister Rafiu explained that the contributions from the state-owned enterprises will be directed into the sports fund. Additionally, the fund will engage in investments, with the returns from these investments reinvested back into sports development. He also assured transparency in the management of the sports fund, noting that it will be utilized to promote sports effectively and responsibly. Croatia's Mateo acknowledges his team have struggled badly in midfield at Euro 2024, thus far, and was hoping to put it right in a vital clash against Italy. The 2022 World Cup semi-finalists will likely be eliminated unless they beat the reigning champions in Leipzig, following a 3-0 defeat by Spain and a 2-2 draw with Albania. Croatia's midfield dazzled in Qatar and in 2018 when they finished as runners-up in the World Cup final, but Mateo, veteran Real Madrid star Luka Modric and pivot Marcelo have underperformed this summer. Mateo told a news conference that the team knows that the midfield unit has not operated as well as in the past and have not been as compact as normal. He acknowledged that the team play as a whole has suffered because of that. Modric won La Liga and the Champions League with Real Madrid but has been far below his sparkling best. Brozovic now plays in Saudi Arabia for Al Nassr and has suffered heavy criticism in his homeland for his shaky start in Germany. Mateo said that the team were not thinking about the chance that the Italy showdown could be Modric's final match in the red and white checkered shirt. Italy lost 1-0 to Spain but beat Albania 2-1 in their opening game, and a draw would be enough to claim second place in Group B behind La Roja. Croatia coach Zlatko Dalic said that he understands that it is essentially a knockout match tomorrow night and there won't be any extra time, adding that the team must win the match. He said that Croatia requires 3 points to go through. Any other result sends them home. He added that Italy needs only a point and Croatia needs more than a draw. A draw, however, is unlikely to be good enough as no team have made the next round with 2 points since the Euro finals expanded to 24 teams in 2016, offering a place in the last 16 to the 4 best third-place finishers. NVIDIA signs a deal to deploy its artificial intelligence technology at data centers owned by Qatari telecoms group Ooredoo in 5 Middle Eastern countries. The agreement marks NVIDIA's first large-scale launch in a region to which Washington has curbed the export of sophisticated US chips to stop Chinese firms from using Middle Eastern countries as a backdoor to access the newest AI technology. Ooredoo said in a statement that it will make Ooredoo the first company in the region able to give clients of its data centers in Qatar, Algeria, Tunisia, Oman, Kuwait, and the Maldives direct access to NVIDIA's AI and graphics processing technology. NVIDIA's Senior Vice President of Telecom, Ronnie Vasishta, said that providing the technology will allow Ooredoo to better help its customers deploy generative AI applications. Meanwhile, Ooredoo's CEO mentioned in an interview that B2B clients will have access to services that probably their competitors will not for another 18 to 24 months following the agreement. The companies did not disclose the value of the deal, which was signed on the sidelines of the TM Forum in Copenhagen on June 19th. Ooredoo also would not disclose exactly what type of NVIDIA technology it will be installed in its data centers, saying that it depends on availability and customer demand. Washington allows the export of some NVIDIA technology to the Middle East but curbs exports from the company's most sophisticated chips. Ooredoo CEO said that the company's invested $1 billion to boost its regional data center capacity by 20 to 25 additional megawatts on top of the 40 megawatts it currently has and plans to almost triple that by the end of the decade. The company has carved out its data centers into a separate company following a similar move last year to create the Middle East's largest tower company in a deal with Kuwait's Zain and Dubai's PSC Towers Holding. He additionally said that Ooredoo has plans to carve out its undersea cables and fiber network into a separate entity. That's all the news we have for today. Thank you all for watching.
Broadcast sponsors of PSM coverage. Brought to you by STO. Powered by Stelco. MHA. Banking partner Bank of Maldives. Powered by Maldives Sports Limited. Associated by MTCC. Housing Development Corporation. MWSC. Villa College. Digital partner Dirago. Printing partner Printworks. Interior partner Proxy Home. Catering partner Lesuk.
Licensed broadcaster Public Service Media.
Assalamu alaikum. Dunia kalige mulinga program